Hello crafty friends, it's Donna here from Donna is Playing Paper, and I've got a fun little card for you that combines embossing folders and embossed die cuts. When it comes to Christmas cards, sometimes you need to make a lot, and I have a few time-saving tips for you today. The first of those tips is to start with coloured paper. Although I have ink blended this paper with definitely salty ocean at the bottom and probably peacock feathers in the middle, sadly I lost the footage at some point, I did start with some light blue paper, and that made the whole process faster. Secondly, you can get away with some fairly quick and easy ink blending if you know you're going to muck with the surface of it later. I'm going to do 3 different things to this panel. First of all, I've spattered it with some water, which I'm mopping up with paper towel. Then, when that's dry, I'm going to use an embossing folder to add some texture. This embossing folder is called Tufted Elegance, and it's been getting a big workout in my craft space lately. It's just got a beautiful quilted texture to it. And so I'm going to put that through my die cutting machine so that my panel will have some lovely texture. Next, as well as those water spatters, which lighten the ink, I'm going to add some white spatters as well. I'm mixing some white gouache with water until it's kind of splatterable. It's always important to use the correct technical term. And just spattering it all over the background. I'm making sure that I cover any spaces where I wasn't happy with my blending, so that it's all hidden. The word Christmas that I'm going to use for today's card comes from the fine script layered metal die that says Merry Christmas. These are available in lots of different words, and I'm just going to use the word Christmas today, not the word Merry, and also not the outline that comes with the stamp. I've cut this 3 times from white cardstock, and I'm going to layer those up. Because of how delicate this die is, it's fairly easy to bend it into a different shape, and so I'm going to use the negative space that I cut those words from to help me to keep everything straight. Once it's 3 layers high, it's going to be very sturdy. I'm just using the tiniest dots of glue for this process, but you could cut it out with some double-sided tape on the back and peel back the tape. I'm not very good at lining up long sentiments all at once, so if you are going to do that, see if you can find a double-sided tape that's initially removable, unless you have a much steadier hand than I do. If you're using the wet glue, you have a little bit of wiggle time. And so what I'm going to do is grab that word out, check that I'm happy with the lineup of all of the different letters right from the start to the end, and then pop it back into the outline so that it can dry nice and flat. And then I'll repeat the process with the 3rd Christmas. If you want, you can add a sparkly paper or a different coloured paper to this top layer. Another way to save time is to use pre-coloured images. I'm using these Jolly Holidays embossed die cuts. I hope that my camera is catching all that beautiful glossy embossing in the light. And there are quite a few that I think would look cute. Initially I thought I might use that penguin, since it's such a wintry scene. In the end, the gnome that's below it, that's a little bit Father Christmassy, is what I decided on. And I did decide to turn that paper upside down so that you have the darker sky at the top. I liked the overall look, but also the word Christmas stood out better against the darker background. The word Merry comes from the Crisp Christmas Sentiment set, and I've just cut that very, very closely and run around the outside with a black memento marker. I've glued down my embossed panel. I'm going to pop up my feature image with some foam tape. The word Christmas has already got some height because it's 3 layers tall, and so I'm just gluing that directly to my background. I'll make sure that that sentiment keeps good contact with my background panel by just popping a stamping block on top of it while it dries. Finally, I'll stick that word merry down. I've used a little bit of foam tape for that. And then add a couple of pearly gems. These are about 1 million years old and from my stash, and I've used one of them to make the dot on my eye. I hope that you've enjoyed this card and that it gives you some ideas, not just for Christmas cards, but for other simple cards that you can put together if you're in a hurry. I'm going to leave you with these pictures of the card. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another card. Bye for now.